All right, everybody. Quick tidbit of news. Fernando Tatis Jr., according to Kevin Acee, has undergone his second wrist surgery. I don't think this is a big deal. The article, to me, seemed a little just clickbaity. I read the article, and here's just the quick news here. He got a second wrist surgery. It happened pretty recently. Um, that big surgery that he had was on the shoulder. Remember, that was in September after he got popped, for PEDs. Um, and according to Kevin Acee, it says here that he underwent that second wrist surgery last week. And AJ Preller, I don't know if he was talking to Acee or if it was just a text or a press release, but he said that we were expecting Tatis to be ready to go for spring training. The timing of the shoulder surgery and the wrist follow-up surgery should line up with the same timeline. He should be able to go to spring training. So it's not a big deal. Um, I forget when he had that first wrist surgery. Maybe it says it in the article. He had the surgery in March. Yeah, had the surgery in March. Worked himself back. Uh, and that's why he was rehabbing, right? Because of that wrist. And then obviously he had the suspension as he was rehabbing, so he never got to play. But he had the second one, so he has had the shoulder one. Now he has the wrist since the suspension. He had that wrist surgery, I believe, in New York last week, according to this article. And the reasoning for this second surgery was just to kind of make sure that long term the wrist is going to be okay. And I think the Padres were kind of concerned with that. The surgery was performed by Dr. Michelle Carlson in New York, according to Acee. The surgery removed their original screws from the surgery in March and replaced them with a central screw. So I guess just to maybe, I don't know if it's Tatis, but probably the Padres, just to kind of assure, probably increases the chances of Tatis's wrist being stabilized long term. Maybe the surgery that he had I'm not a doctor, so I don't know. But maybe the surgery that he had in March, maybe that's more of a short term thing. And they want this fixed, obviously, for the long term. They don't want to have to keep worrying about this. So this was just about long term health of the wrist and taking those original screws out and putting a central screw in there. And so he should be ready for spring training, according to AJ Preller. It's nothing to get worried about. Um, Probably there's fans that were worried about this because they just saw the headline. Nothing to be worried about. And the team is winning without him right now. Like, the last thing I was focused on was Fernando Tatis Jr., to be honest. Uh, I mean, the only part I was focused about Fernando here, this whole situation of the Padres winning and all that, was that they were doing it without him and how tremendous that is. And so, not to make this about Tatis, but to make it about how great this Padres run is, right? So, Tatis obviously is not going to be in the dugout or anything the rest of this postseason run. He's not in those champagne celebrations. But according to this article and according to what AJ Preller's saying, he's going to be ready still by spring training, ready for spring training, despite having the second wrist surgery. So he's rehabbing the wrist and he's rehabbing the shoulder now. So I guess that's good news. As long as he's ready for whenever he can come back, which I believe is like April 21st right now is the earliest, because you take off 4 more games at least. That's if the Padres get swept by the Phillies, and I don't expect them to. So more games are being tacked off. And again, as long as Fernando's ready for spring training, that's all I care about. And this team is winning without him right now. I want to enjoy this team winning. And the NLCS starts tomorrow night, a little after 5 o'clock at Petco Park. Yu Darvish on the mound for the Padres. I believe it's Zach Wheeler going for the Phillies. I did a series preview episode with Joe uh, Giglio of 94 WIP in Philadelphia. That is out on podcast platforms and on YouTube. This YouTube channel, if you want to check that out. Thanks for listening to the show. Thanks for watching this video, and that's just the quick update. So Go Padres, and see you later.